Esorfranki is a civil engineering and construction group specializing in geotechnical services and pipelines. Esor listed on the JSE in 2006 and acquired Franki shortly afterwards. It has a market cap of 553 million rand and a price to earnings ratio of 6.5, but currently pays no dividends. Francois, let's get you to start on Esorfranki. Perhaps just take us through the share price action.
Well, at the height of the construction boom, Esorfranki was past 6 rands. As people started realizing, the construction boom is going to come to an end, 2010 World Cup, orders are going to slow down, the share had a drop, but earnings are still high and a lot of investors got excited. But subsequently, especially after the 2010 World Cup, and all the order books just died down, the share had a massive crash.
So we're waiting here for a re-rating of the sector as a whole, and
Definitely.
then will we see Esorfranki kicking up?
Well, I think in the last 3 earnings periods, Esorfranki has made a profit in all 3 of those after having made a big loss in 2010. So there's also definitely a sustained turnaround there. Revenue's been increasing every year since 2011. So things are looking up for the company.
At least things are looking up, Paul. We can smile on that front.
Yeah, I like Bernie Kroner, the CEO, has done a good job. This business put together Esor and Franki, which were both market leaders in terms of piling and digging the holes before big buildings go in, which is a good margin activity and comes early in the process, so they don't have too many payment issues. During the boom, they bought Petula, which is general civils, including roadworks, and a company called Shearwater, which does pipelines. So some of that work, kind of dried up in the negative downturn. But I think they've battled on. They're starting to expand the piling and lateral support business into Africa, places like Angola, Ghana, where they're starting to build quite big buildings. So I think they're doing well. The order book looks good. So it ought to be trading at a higher price. But then again, as I said before, people are a bit anxious that maybe things are sort of looking up, but that, we're not quite there yet in terms of this recovery in the general margins of general construction.
So not a huge rush to buy now. Do you think we've got some more time to just sit, wait and see?
I think we'll see a slow recovery in the stock, but when it does take off, it's going to take off quickly.
So you don't want to miss that?
No, definitely not. In terms of the construction sector, it's a value investor's dream, I think. Everybody's talking about resources and this and that, but it seems like everybody's just forgotten about construction after waiting for the construction turnaround in the last 3 years. And I think it's starting to happen now, and investors are going to be late to that.
Paul, hot or not?
No, I think that's generally correct, because people are always late to the recovery. By the time you realize that the prices look good and the sector's looking interesting again, it's because the prices have gone up. So I think it's generally, if you like that sort of cyclical investment, you'd like trying to have a bit of a flutter, I think now is the time to get in. One more little tidbit about Esorfranki is that the fine for the Competition Authority's tribunal investigation in the construction industry was very low for them. For some reason, I think they must have decided the other guys were much more guilty than they were. So they got like a couple of 100,000 rands worth of settlement fine, which is very good from their point of view.
Hot or not on Esorfranki, Francois?
Hot.
Hot or not, Paul?
Okay, going hot as well.